So I just want to thank you all for coming this morning and your patience with our semi-presentation last week. So Hoganess One Harcourt's been on a mission to ensure that all children have access to literacy and high-quality literature, and iRead is really the next step in our journey towards fulfilling that mission. And as we begin that journey, we ask, what does the future hold for our youngest learners if they do not become proficient readers? From experience and research, we know that an achievement gap exists, even for our youngest learners. 54% of all children in the United States do not attend preschool, and as a result, they enter kindergarten at a disadvantage. They're already behind their academic performance compared to their peers who did attend preschool. So what happens to these children as they move through school? Without early intervention, that threw me off. Without early intervention, 2 out of 3 fourth graders will not become proficient readers, and without support, they become middle schoolers at a risk of failure. They then become high schoolers with a greater risk of dropping out and before graduating or worse. 82% of prisoners in America are high school dropouts. This means that more than ever there is a need for early reading intervention. So in order to ensure that our children are successful in school and beyond, we have to understand that success is not just dependent on mastery of foundational skills at a young age, but it's also about helping teachers understand how to help the children in their classroom. iRead provides unparalleled support for educators with powerful data, reporting, and instructional resources to maximize instructional time and accelerate student achievement. So iRead is a digital foundational reading program designed to close the achievement gap early through intervention, prevention, and acceleration, to place all children on a predictable path to reading proficiently by grade 3, and to provide explicit, systematic instruction in personalized practice and foundational reading. So knowing the challenges and having heard from educators all across the country, we turn to the best thinkers in education, neuroscience, and gaming theory to design a program that will close the reading achievement gap early. Marilyn Adams is one of the most respected voices in K-2 education and the author of the book Beginning to Read. Dr. Ted Hasselbring is the mastermind behind the proven effective FAST algorithm that powers all of our adaptive technology programs, including Read 180, System 44, Math 180, and FAST Math. So iRead is the necessary foundation for all K-2 reading programs. It'll work alongside your core reading program as a daily software rotation for all children. Technology is uniquely suited to delivering systematic, intensive, and accountable instruction in foundational reading, all the while providing teachers with actionable data to deliver targeted, small group, differentiated instruction. Anytime, anywhere access allows children to be on the software at any time and in any location where there is an internet connection. So iRead is really teaching the foundational reading outcomes such as phonological awareness, phonics, word recognition, spelling, encoding, and fluency. The software also supports vocabulary and language development. And as you all know, these skills are the building blocks necessary to prepare all children for the demands of college, career, and citizenship. iRead ensures mastery of all of these foundational reading outcomes. So as you know, new, more rigorous standards were developed to prepare all children for the demands of college, career, and citizenship. And without a deep understanding of the foundational skills, children will not have the tools necessary to tackle these more rigorous expectations. It's really our job to prepare them for these shifts in instruction, and iRead will do just that. All of this gets us to the goal of all children reading on level in 3rd grade. So So this is BC Hall. This is the virtual school where children go each day when they log into the iRead software. We think of iRead as serious fun. It's serious because teaching is serious work, but it's also fun because the program is set in a whimsical and engaging learning environment. So as we go through the next part of the presentation, just keep that in the forefront of your mind, serious fun, and see if you can notice some of the elements that are serious and those that are fun. So inside the school, children receive ongoing instruction and practice in foundational reading. And this is really where the learning truly takes place. We all know that the most important part of any school is the faculty that leads it. And inside BC Hall, children visit 5 classrooms. Each is led by an engaging faculty member who specializes in foundational reading. Miss A and Coach Z are the teachers in the alphabet classroom. In this classroom, we focus on the skills that are most predictive of long-term reading success. First and foremost, this means we're teaching phonological awareness. Dr. Ann Cunningham, one of our program authors, defines phonological awareness as the ability to hear sounds in the dark. There's also rapid letter naming, the ability to rapidly identify and name all upper and lowercase letters. And we're very intentional about how we teach the alphabet, recognizing that it serves as the foundation for all future learning. The next classroom is the code classroom, headed up by Mr. Saunders. In the code, Mr. Saunders gives guidance and support as children master the 44 sounds and highest utility spellings of the English language. Actively involving children in learning the system, this means that children are practicing phonics, blending, segmenting, decoding, and encoding. Mr. Seymour teaches the sight words classroom, and to make it fun for the children, he even has 3 eyes to help spot the sight words. Children must be automatic with high-frequency sight words. These are the words that must be instantly recognized without applying word attack strategies. So it's often helpful to think of sight words as the grammatical glue that holds the English language together. Mrs. Wordy teaches wordplay, where children focus on understanding and using morphemes or word parts, including inflectional endings, prefixes, and suffixes, as well as syllabigation strategies to unlock multisyllabic words. You'll notice that we're calling this the wordplay classroom rather than the word strategies or word work classroom. Again, this highlights how we've kept K2 children at the forefront of our minds when developing iRead. So children might be able to master foundational reading skills when practicing in isolation, but the important question is whether they can master them in context. So after completing a topic, children celebrate their success with an independent read of an e-book or a read aloud for kindergarten. In success, children transfer and apply newly acquired skills within the context of real reading. Each success e-book is accompanied by vocabulary and comprehension activities to ensure children understand what they read. The 5 strands of instruction that I have just introduced are integrated throughout a continuous scope and sequence. Levels A, B, and C roughly equate to kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade. You'll notice that the scope and sequence grows in complexity over time. We front-loaded the alphabet at the beginning of the scope and sequence to make sure that children master this essential foundation early. But this is not all that happens. Children will receive instruction and practice in all 5 classrooms during Level A, including code, sight words, wordplay, and success. I like to think of Level B as the level where children truly learn how to read. They'll spend a lot of time in the code classroom, mastering the 44 sounds and solidifying essential decoding skills. And then in Level C, they'll build and expand upon the skills that are introduced in Level B. They spend a lot of time working with morphology, prefixes, suffixes, and challenging spelling. Most importantly, you'll see that children have daily opportunities to read connected texts and build language across all 3 levels. This is the advantage of technology, the ability to seamlessly integrate assessment and instruction. Children 5, 6, 7 years old, or 5, 6, and 7 years old, so you don't want to spend all of your time assessing. And that's the beauty of adaptive technology. It really does that job for you. Just like in Read 180, System 44, Math 180, and Fast Math, we are once again leveraging the power of adaptive technology, creating a personalized learning path for each child. It all comes back to our proven FAST algorithm, developed by Dr. Ted Hasselberg. FAST stands for Fluency and Automaticity through Systematic Teaching with Technology. It begins when children are placed into the software by a universal screener assessment. They then receive direct instruction, guided practice, independent practice, and adjusted instruction, all on the path to mastery. So it begins with the iRead screener. In order to deliver the right level of instruction and practice, we really need to determine what children do and do not already know. Therefore, all children will begin iRead with a screener assessment. It's a yearly assessment that determines where children will enter in the software. And there are 6 different entry points, 3 in kindergarten, 2 in first, and 1 in second. Children can place below or on grade level, and the screener is correlated to DIBELS, enabling you to accurately predict end-of-year performance. This level of personalization supports students who are in need of intervention, prevention, or acceleration. The screener has been tested with over 1,400 children at 7 sites, and most children complete the assessment in just under 20 minutes. Once inside the software, children receive direct instruction, often accompanied by an instructional song or a ditty. After receiving instruction, children move on to guided practice. The focus here is on accuracy, ensuring that children get the correct answer and demonstrate that they can successfully complete the task. And of course, all practice is connected to meaning. Every single word in the software is accompanied by an image, ensuring that children know the meaning of the words that they read. During independent practice, the focus shifts slightly. Not only are we concerned with accuracy, but we're also concerned with the speed, ensuring that children are fluent and automatics in decoding words and reading sentences. And we know that it's not enough to have children practice skills in isolation. That's why iRead provides daily opportunities to read connected text, reading and applying the skills learned in the software within the context of fluent reading. Right now, you're looking at an activity called Read and Think, because we ask children to read the text and then think about its meaning. Remember, we've made it a point to ensure that all text in the program is connected to meaning. And here you can see that both children are practicing long vowels in vowel consonant words, E words. Yet each has a personalized list of review words designed to meet their individual needs. While Michael's practicing gate and make, Anna's practicing name and game. This is adaptive technology at its finest. It does the heavy lifting for you by determining the exact skills and right amount of practice for each student. And of course, mastery is the end goal. When Dr. Hasselberg developed the FAST algorithm, he did so in order to ensure mastery. And that's what it does. When children graduate from iRead, they do so having mastered foundational reading. In this culminating activity, children will select the correct letters to successfully complete the word. And during this video, they're just sort of telling them to slide the letters and instructing them as they go along. Just wanted you to see our little monsters. So at the end of each series, children celebrate their success with an independent reading or a read aloud at the beginning of level A. This really provides children with the opportunity to transfer and apply the skills learned in the software. Each ebook includes comprehension and vocabulary checks, as well as scaffolded support in Spanish. And all target words are accompanied by a Spanish definition, and each ebook has an audio summary available in Spanish. So there's over 50 interactive ebooks included in the software, located at the end of each series after children have met mastery. These ebooks represent a wide variety of genres and text types, with 50% informational text. The interactive ebooks provide children with access to grade level text at K through 2nd grade. At level A, there's 30, half of which are informational. The earliest ebooks in the library are read-aloud texts that reinforce phonological awareness and print concepts. These include nursery rhymes, poetry, classic fiction, and informational text. And then later in level A, ebooks have controlled text with guided reading levels ranging from A to D. At level B, there are also 30 texts, which are half informational, and the guided reading levels of these texts range from C to M. There are 30 texts at level C as well, again half are informational, and the guided reading levels range from level I to O. Level B texts have also been assigned lexile measurements ranging from 90 to 940. So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but BC Hall is constructed entirely of books, and that it's located in the center of town, emphasizing the importance of learning. iRead is really the only K-2 program that takes place inside of a school, a design choice that we purposely made in order to promote the transfer of knowledge and skills learned on the software into the classroom environment. At strategic moments in the scope and sequence, children are able to customize their avatar, their personalized reading buddy. It's a very motivating feature, and it gives children choices as they move through the program. So inside of the student backpack is what we call the student dashboard. Of course, we all know the importance of providing teachers with data, but at HMH, we don't think that it's too early to show 5, 6, and 7-year-olds their progress. So the dashboard shows children every word, letter, and book that they've mastered. This provides them with meaningful opportunities to reflect on their progress. So iRead really comes with everything you need to teach foundational reading, including program-embedded supports, in-person training, and ongoing professional development. SAM is our centralized management system. It's a digital environment that includes data snapshots, grouping tools, and point-of-use teaching tools. From SAM, educators have access to 3 years' worth of foundational reading content. With hundreds of lessons and downloadable resources, it includes instructional songs, actionable data and reports, strategic grouping tools, and online professional development. From SAM, teachers can also access the Groupinator, which is an algorithmic grouping tool that streamlines child performance data and recommends targeted groups based on location in the scope and sequence. It's really a great way for teachers to see firsthand which skills children have and have not mastered. So it's also an amazing tool that enables teachers to quickly and effectively review target skills and accelerate all children to reading proficiently. Groupinator has determined which lessons to teach, educators have the ability to customize their weekly schedule directly from SAM. Planning small group lessons has never been easier. Teachers can see exactly what lessons to teach with each of their small groups, and educators can click directly from the dashboards into the lesson. The point of use lessons can be delivered from an interactive whiteboard or any other digital display system. Lessons are recommended based on performance data, ensuring that students always receive the right instruction during their small group learning. These lessons are accompanied by many actionable, additional downloadable resources. In addition to grouping tools, the management system also houses all the actionable data that teachers need to increase effectiveness and efficiency in the classroom. Shown here is the growth report, which shows where children are in the scope and sequence with respect to grade level benchmarks. You can also use data snapshots to monitor students' progress. Data snapshots provide high-level data to show how children are performing, including mastery of content and progress through the software. In addition to the analytics available to teachers through the teacher dashboard, there's also a leadership dashboard available on SAM. And this is where administrators view data from all of the iRead classrooms in their school or district. The Skills Mastery Report for leaders is available on the Leadership Dashboard. This report provides administrators with a really big picture view of how students in their school or district are progressing through the software. Aggregating at the grade level, the Skills Mastery Report shows leaders what percentage of students in each level are where they are in each topic in the software. iRead truly offers everything that educators need to teach foundational reading. Knowing the challenges that we face, we support them in every way possible to ensure that all children master foundational reading skills. And in addition to the embedded program supports that we just discussed, iRead also offers implementation training, in-person coaching, and on-demand professional development, which is all part of a comprehensive support plan for your teachers. iRead also has a family portal, which is available in English and Spanish, and provides families with the tools they need to stay connected to their child's work at school. This is where families can go to find downloadable resources and books, as well as guides to teaching the alphabet and other foundational reading skills. So we know that seeing an amazing program is one thing, but now you're asking yourself, does it really work? And with our first year of implementation complete, we are excited to share some very positive outcomes. The data comes from districts in Kentucky and California, where students made gains on various assessment measures, and as a result of iRead use. These two districts saw student growth on the external measures MAP and DIBELS. During 2013-14 school year, 11 of the 13 elementary schools in Hardin County, Kentucky implemented iRead for their K-2 students. And as you can see here, iRead students in K and first grade at Lincoln Trail Elementary School improved their scores between fall and spring. The district also reported that 70% of all kindergarten students met or exceeded projected growth for the year, and 64% of all the first grade students met or exceeded their projected growth for the year. These are some results from Napa, California. grade 1 students who scored well below or below on the iRead screener and also completed 100 total topics or more performed better on their end of year DIBELS next subtest. And then the grade 1 and grade 2 students who scored well below or below on the iRead screener, who completed 100 total topics or more, also performed better on the end of year DIBELS. So that is my 30,000 foot of iRead. And I just want to thank you for sitting so quietly and listening to all of that. And I'm sure that you guys probably have some questions. I'd be happy to try to answer those for you.
So I wanted to talk about a few of the things that you said at the very end. So you've had just one full year of implementation of iRead? Or
no,
did I hear that wrong?
iRead has been fully implemented for 3 going on 4 years.
Okay. And are you very wide?
I'm sorry, results from 2013.
Okay. And then, are you very well or widespread in Iowa yet, or?
Yes, in fact, with the release of the most release of the Microsoft funding, we've done a lot of different implementations in Iowa.
Yeah, and so then you're probably aware that most of the Iowa school systems use something called FAST rather than DIBELS.
Yep.
Yeah, are you?
Yes, we have alignments. I'll send those to you.
Okay. Good. That would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We've used a program similar to this, the Compass Learning Odyssey program a few years ago. Wasn't very teacher friendly. It was quite a hassle actually to try to provide students what they need. So you have been, so then are you getting feedback from teachers that it's a pretty easy program to utilize?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I have one teacher who stands out in my mind the most, who told me that iRead is like an x-ray for her students. She can always see exactly where they are and what they need. And she was also one of our Iowa teachers who implemented with the Microsoft last year. They started second semester in 2014-15. She's in Storm Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot of good things from teachers and from administrators on how easy it is to use.
Now I understand that you have, I've talked a little bit about training. You have something called like a general training and then an implementation training. Is that how you would categorize those? So tell me.
And also, I know we have been talking about training for your school, and I think that if we're able to do training, it's going to be the 2-hour Get Started webinar, which is going to be a really good way to get your teachers, started and familiar with the program, and give them everything, the tools that they'll need to, where they'll be able to find everything that they need, especially the reporting.
Okay.
But Sam, which is our student achievement manager, is another professional development resource for you, because you can, essentially search for a particular topic and pull up an article or something that will help you address whatever it is that you are concerned with.
And so that's pretty much addressed then in the full day training, the SAM.
SAM will be addressed in the 2-hour webinar as well. Definitely, because that's where everything you will need is. All of the reporting is there. All of the lessons are there.
So tell me about the difference.
Go ahead.
So what's the difference between the 2-hour training versus the full day training? Do you just go more in depth?
The full day training, They would be on site with you, and your teachers would be actually logged into SAM. They can show you, you just more hands-on material, whereas this would be 2 hours of them kind of giving you a PowerPoint presentation on how to do it.
I coughed over you there, and you said the implementation training was an on-site. The full day is an on-site.
Yeah, the full day on-site training is what the implementation, which is why it's $2,950 because they come to you and they spend a full day at your school.
Okay. There's a neighboring district that actually we're going to be whole grade sharing with next year. That's also possibly going to use their Microsoft money for iRead. Could they join with us and we share the?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. They can teach up to 25 teachers.
25, because I saw somewhere that said 20. So 25 now.
Yes. Yeah.
25 teachers.
It was, yeah. We've had some changes going from Scholastic to HMH. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
What kind of time recommendations per day? I mean, my understanding of this is something the kids would be doing every day.
Yeah, about 20 minutes a day.
And I know you showed in some of the videos there were some small group things. I'm reading in some of the materials I got, it talks about whole class instruction. Is that a part of it too, or is it just what the kids are doing in small group? And
it'll make recommendations for both whole group and small group. There's over 600 point of use lessons. So depending on what you want a lesson for, it'll make recommendations.
And that kind of comes through from the Groupinator, which just kind of collects data and tells you what the kids need.
The Groupinator actually puts them into small groups. It'll take your class of 20 and make 4 or 5 groups for you.
Other than the screener that they take at the beginning, are there any other assessments that they're required to take?
No, they won't know they're being. I mean, it's assessing constantly. The entire time they're on the program, it's assessing them.
Okay. And if you had.
But that screener is once a year. They'll do it again.
Yeah.
To start off the school year next year too.
If you had kids, say kindergarten kids who finish the level A materials, do they move on to level B even if it's March of kindergarten?
Yeah, it just keeps going until they've mastered their foundational skills.
And then when they take that screener, they're put into one of 6 different paths.
Right. Yeah.
How accurate have teachers found that screener? Sometimes we have like lucky guessers.
Well, I haven't heard. Sometimes no news is good news, and I haven't heard anyone tell me that they felt that screener was inaccurate.
Okay. So what would our next step be here then, Tracy, if we were going to move forward? Who do I contact? Do I contact you?
Yeah, I would be able to help you place an order for iRead. So you would just provide a purchase order, and what we would do is set up a server for your school where you would access via the web and then get started.
And it works with iPads, correct?
Yes, yeah,
So
iPad and tablets.
Okay. Is there any certain
So you can.
minimum requirement for the iOS on the iPads or not?
No, what we would do is we will perform a tech audit for you guys. It's a free service where we just make sure that you have the hardware and the bandwidth to support the program. In fact, we don't place orders until we do that. So I guess that would be our first next step is the tech audit.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and get that sent to us then so we have an idea of what we're working with.
And I know, to piggyback off of that,
that'd be something Amber would do for us. It's like a 5-minute, it takes about 5 minutes a sheet to fill out to just give us the bandwidth and how many kids will be on the program at once. And then they'll look it over and let us know if they have any recommendations or if they feel like it would run effectively.
Yeah, I can do that.
Katie had another question here.
Well, I mean, you mentioned something, and the one lady showed using an interactive whiteboard. That's not going to be a requirement that we have that?
No, that's not required.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I have any more questions. Is there
What is the district you're thinking about implementing with or training with? I think I might know.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Um,
Oh, yeah,
You
Adar
were talking
Casey.
about another.
Adar Casey is who we're going
Okay,
to hold
all
our
right.
training with next year.
So, do you want me to have the audit sent to Amber?
Yes,
Would
please.
that be appropriate?
Or you can send
What
it to
is
me
your
and I
email
can
address?
forward. It's just A Wetzel, AWETZEL at guthrie.k12.ia.us.
Okay. I will send you guys also those FAST alignments,
Okay.
and then we'll send the audit, and then after that we should be good to go. They'll reply with their recommendations before, within a couple hours.
And then when would you recommend that 2-hour training? Is that something you would recommend? Like, is there any way that we could have like a couple of classrooms, like pilot something, or just kind of get their feet wet with it a little bit without a trial period? Would you do anything like that?
What I could do, which I think would probably be helpful if you want to, get a little bit of a view to see what it looks like, is find a district close to you that's using it that you can visit.
Okay. The West Des Moines system would be the closest, if you could give us some schools in the district.
Yeah, well, all of them. We implemented with 5 last year, and we have 2 more coming on board in a couple weeks.
Yeah, if you could give us that list of 5.
In West Des Moines.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard what you said. What?
Yes, if you could get us that list of 5 from West Des Moines.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
And then training, would you then suggest that just at the very end of the school year?
Yeah, either the very end or the very beginning. If you have PD days in the summer, it's the webinar is easier to locate someone to do that. So you'd probably get your first pick in your date and time.
Okay. All right.
It's up to you guys.
Okay. Anything else from us? I think at this time, Tracy, we have the information that we need to go forward, so
Okay.
thank
Great.
you for your time
Good.
today.
Well, then I will send you those alignments, and we'll get the tech audit started, and you let me know, when you feel like you want to get this implemented.
All right. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Tracy.
thank you all very much. Enjoy your day. Happy Monday.
Yes, you too. Yeah.